Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. My opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, mom and dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
That's my best.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up, Season 5, Episode 12. I realized just as we were about to hit the We're Going Live button that we did not get everybody in frame over there. And now we've got everybody in frame. Look at that. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm Kyle Mocha here, hosting Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up on the Houseboat. Brought to you by Moot.tv. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Justin Olimpado.
Hey, man.
How you doing today, brother?
Good.
Didn't get locked out of anything this week?
No,
Just a long work week?
Long work week.
Long fun. You did a candlelight dinner you were telling me about. There were 400 items on that menu you were telling me.
No, it wasn't
4,000 items on that menu. I
It
believe
was,
is what you said. You said
not
40,000 million items, and I had to make all of them.
I did
By
not say one
candlelight.
word of that.
You had
Yes.
to make food by candlelight.
I had to make the candles
yeah,
first.
I don't know. He had to
Romantic.
make the candles.
I had to make the candles
and then he had
to burn and to see.
And to see, yeah, and
Yeah.
which is hard to make candles blind. The first couple looked like shit. I'm
Yeah,
just going to tell you
yeah.
that. All right, well, we are also joined every week by Mr. Zachary. Dorman has a stuttering pop there. You haven't done a stuttering pop in a while. You're a stammering daddy over here. Just a stammering father.
What's
Look
up,
at you.
Marissa?
Oh, we got Marissa in the chat. Oh, I feel special. You should all feel special.
Marissa Miller?
Marissa is in here. Marissa Catherine. I don't know anything else about her name. And we are joined also by two very special recurring guests. We were talking about this before. You guys are part of our tight circle. You are two of the people that we are allowed to interact with in this wonderful world that we all live in. We are joined by Jen and SteveO. Welcome back, guys.
Hi.
Stoked.
How's your day going? You guys doing all right over there? All stoked and ready to go?
Yeah, minus my baking mishap.
Yeah. So we're doing some cookie tasting today. Jen made some cookies. I
What's
made
up,
some cookies.
Cliff?
And we got
Hello,
a nice group
RTP
jumping in there.
120.
Look at this. Oh,
There's
let's
a bunch of
go.
Punks in
All
the
right.
room, punks in the room.
Punks in the room. And me. Now, we're doing a cookie taste test. I proposed this drunk one night that we do, or maybe you did. I forget.
It was you.
It was me?
Not me.
Okay.
I was there. I
and-
cannot vouch for
I
that.
can confirm. I can neither confirm nor deny that it happened, but it happened, and now it's going to
I
happen.
think it was after a game of Circle of Death.
I think that is. It was after
Probably.
the last
Yeah.
episode. Yep, we were like, "Oh, we should do vegan versus non."
Yeah.
Vegan, and in my advertising for this, I was like, "How do you phrase it?" And I just went with vegan versus non, because I was like, I want to say vegan versus normal and upset a bunch of vegan people who are like, fuck you, I'm normal.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, yeah, but your cookies aren't. And that would have just been my thought on the matter. So I just went versus non.
Who really is normal?
Normal? Not Zach. Zach is definitely not normal. Also not normal, we have a really awesome band that we're going to be featuring today.
Yeah.
And the not normal aspect, because we always have really awesome bands, is that you guys have played with them. You guys are friendly with these guys. Little Teeth from Munich, Germany. You've
Factually, I don't think we've ever actually played with Little
not
Teeth.
played with them.
With
Separate
them, the members.
Oh,
But not with them, Little
as
Teeth,
they are now.
As it were.
So you know parts of the band.
I know half of the band.
Yeah,
I know half
we
of the
each
band.
know
straight up.
half.
Okay.
So I guess that's about it.
Hell yeah. Now, did you meet them in the UK, in Europe? Did you meet them in America? Do you remember?
America, very America. Well, me and Jason
Yeah, I did see
Thompson.
it,
Well, me and Jason S. Thompson. Mind you, there's
Okay.
two Jason Thompsons. But
If you're going to be a Thompson, you better be an S. Thompson.
that's
my
he
rule.
he played in this band called Sky We Scrape and lived in Chicago when I lived in
hell yeah.
Chicago, and that's pretty much how we became friends.
Fuck
and
yeah.
that band is so awesome too.
Well, I mean, Little Teeth, this is one that we came across on, I believe, on Blank TV, and I went, oh, this is really awesome. And then I went and found them on Facebook, and I went, oh, I have mutual friends with the people in this band from Germany. I bet I know who two of them are. And I was right. It was you two. All of my Facebook street cred has gone up because I got, you guys that now, through you guys, connect me to other people in the punk rock world. And I'm like, I don't really know you, but I can add you right now. And that's why I'm friends with the guy from the Smoking Popes on Facebook. And I just comment on nothing and like everything. And I just banging my name into his head. It's on repetition, on repetition.
Yeah.
Eventually,
So you do.
I'm going to run into him in person and be like, Kyle Mocha. And he'd be like, oh, hey, Kyle.
You're that guy I fucking hate.
Yeah,
Keep
stop
forgetting to
poking
delete
me.
you. I know
Stop
you from
poking
Facebook.
me. Oh.
Recommend.
Now, speaking of nothing that we were just talking about, I don't have a segue. Netflix has taken over Stroudsburg, guys.
They have.
Netflix has taken over Stroudsburg. It is a big hullabaloo here. Netflix is doing all
I've
of
heard
the
of
lighting
Netflix.
for Main Street Stroudsburg,
One block
from
of-
6th to 7th Street. So they put up a bunch of
What's-
brand
Have
new
you not
lights.
seen any of this?
Yeah, let's pull up the pictures
No.
so Zach can check
When
it
did
out.
they do it?
Over the last week,
was this
they
weekend,
first
wasn't
started
it?
putting. I think
I've
it was
seen
this
it
weekend.
downtown.
Yeah,
They
and it
started
just has
putting up
ends all over everything.
like the red N on like all like the
they
uprights
did
and
put Dolly
things.
Parton's name though, so we're okay with
And
that.
they put all this, and it is a huge straight up advertisement for their company, and they picked I guess like 3 or 4 other. What was that?
All right.
Show
I'm on
random
Tom's
pictures now.
page.
Was that Randy Rhodes there for a split second? What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I believe.
R.I.P. Randy
Look at that! I can see
Yeah,
that.
dude.
I got that real quick. I'm proud of myself
So I don't-
there. So yeah, basically
I don't get it.
they
Why would they do
they
that?
picked
Well,
a handful of
The
cities.
funny thing about that
And
whole
they're
thing,
just decorating them, and they're using it as a photo op. And there's no word that I've heard of yet of whether or not they're actually going to film anything. But all of the lights do say
told
like the
me.
names of Netflix like Christmas specials that are out right now. So it is just a giant advertisement.
right?
I know
So-
this
so-
dates that I haven't lived here very long,
Yes.
but which is 6th and 7th? Which block is
Jukebox.
that?
Yeah,
Where the
right.
jukebox
Oh,
is.
and
Newberries.
No,
Not
Floods
Floods.
is not that
The
much.
other
Oh,
side of it.
Floods
Yeah.
Floods is a block.
So
from
wait,
it.
is it? So it's like jukebox and
Jukebox,
Yard
Renegade,
Yard of
oh wait,
Moucha.
and Toes? Is that included in that
I
one?
have no idea.
Oh,
I
the
can't
Empanada
remember.
spot. They're the
Oh,
greatest
they're kinda
place
on the
earth.
edge.
I think the Empanada spot closed.
No.
One of them did. One of the places
literally
directly
go in
next to
there.
Yard of Ale? Pretty sure it closed.
So I literally.
Or they remodeled?
No, they just remodeled. They were
Okay.
remodeling because I went in there.
I hope it's
I
remodeled. I'll be
always
dumping my beer out on the
seriously,
floor.
I go in there and I order like 12 empanadas at a time,
Uh-huh.
and they always think it's
Eat them all
weird.
at once, or do you space them out?
I spaced them out
I
over a
wouldn't.
couple of
I'd
days.
eat 'em all
But I tell
right
them how
there.
I go in there and
12
they always
empanadas.
tell me that I'm like they're like you are the most like enthusiastic customer we have because I go in there and just tell them how wonderful they are and how grateful
yeah.
I am for their food
You should-
and how much I love them
you
and how great
should
they are. And I'm
show
like, you
local
guys are
support
so
like
wonderful.
that.
And then I just hand them whatever money I have. I'm just like, take it all.
Take it
I don't
all.
even care.
Give me
and
food.
They're like,
Jen,
what
so
are you
local
doing?
support. This is actual factual.
That
Yeah.
it's
Like,
very
it's like-
very.
Well, on the
like, they-
local
to the point where
support
they're like,
side,
we know who you
our
are.
old friend mean Mark Miller posted about the Netflix thing, and he said that For what it's worth, he always thought that it looked great.
The
You
Mars
know,
Patrol.
just the way it was.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning, Justin, you think it looks a little gaudy.
I do. I think it looks overdone.
It is very
it's
over the
crazy.
top. It
Like
is
you said, it's
super-
ready for film.
It looks like they're going to film something
Zach,
there.
you
like
had
a
said,
bad
what are they
Hallmark
doing
movie.
it for?
probably
And
something
a lot of
for
people have been
money.
asking that same question.
Yeah, like what are
And
we
other
getting
people
out of
are like
this?
bashing the
What
fuck
are
out of him.
you?
Like, why somebody can't do something nice for us? And it's like, no, somebody's receiving something in exchange
It's
for
a
this
combination
thing
of you
going
don't
down.
look a gift horse in the mouth. What is it?
Follow the money.
And following
Follow
the
the
money.
money.
Yeah, follow the
Oh.
money.
The mayor's the one that announced
So,
it.
can
so
anybody come up with
on
any
now.
really awesome conspiracy theories about what they are doing here in Stroudsburg with Netflix?
I just think that they're
Dude, I think
shooting
it's just
a
because
house
we're
like
so
a.
close to New York, and
It's
all their
probably that.
reps are in New York. That, like we all know around here,
They're
most people
rebooting
move-
Gilmore Girls. And
Yes.
they're
Dear
using
Dear
Stroudsburg.
Jesus, as Stars Hollow?
Yes.
Dive in. I am in 100%. They're rebooting Gilmore Girls. I will just be a fat bumbling guy in the corner. Even if they don't, I'll
You
just
don't
be
want
a
to
fat
invest in a
bumbling guy
diner
in a
with me?
corner.
I think that if we start a diner for this, we'd be...
Start Luke's Diner?
Yeah.
We could start Luke's Diner. I think it would work. Yeah, I really hope that there's a secret hidden camera show going on and they're just recording everybody reacting to
Well,
it
he should tell you about what happened
I
to him the
got-
other day.
Ooh.
I got
He got
filmed
filmed
yesterday.
by Netflix.
I don't know who it was, but it was certainly a bunch of professional cameras.
Okay.
It was about 11 in the morning yesterday. I was returning from the post office, and I always take the long route just to get a walk in.
Yeah.
And I was coming up
Healthy.
6th.
You're so
and
healthy.
I was coming back, heading towards 8th. And again, you know, you guys know the layout of Stroudsburg. The
Yeah.
average listener, just think I'm coming
Squares.
North.
It's all in squares.
And I was walking up, and there was like two guys filming me, like straight up. Like I could see that the cameras were not moving.
Right.
It was only me on the sidewalk, envelope under my hand, obviously.
Their assignment that day was go film a hipster
probably-
walking around town, and they were just like, "We need to find somebody." And they're like, "We found a scuzzy punk guy. Does that count?" They're like,
But I had
yeah,
a
just
manila
take
envelope.
all you
I had an
can."
8x11 manila envelope under my hand. So maybe, maybe they thought I was up to something.
Ooh, maybe it was like a man with one red shoe situation. They were like, just find the guy with the manila envelope, and they're like, fuck, that's him, and now they gotta follow you,
Shit, I'm hot.
and you're gonna bang Carrie Fisher. It's just, that's what's gonna happen in this.
That'd be rough. I mean,
Man with One Red Shoe is a very underrated Tom Hanks movie. If you don't know it, you should check it out. So that's crazy. I hope nothing crazy malicious is going on, but I'm sure something
I don't think that
secretly
malicious is going
is
on.
I hope
happening.
they
That
send me a demon. A
I
Christmas
think-
demon.
ooh, what if they're doing
From
the new
hell.
Stranger Things from here?
That
What
would
if
be
the new
fucking
Stranger
awesome.
Things
No,
is
then
happening?
they canceled that.
They did not cancel Stranger
Yes,
Things.
they did.
They?
They're doing the final season.
Jesus
they already filmed
Christ.
it, I believe,
Jesus
as far as I
Christ.
know.
All right.
But no, I
Stranger
think
Before they
Things
get too
happen in
old,
Stroudsburg.
they
I
do.
really think I
Strouder
seriously
things.
think that it's just they picked like cities near cities that people from bigger
And they
cities
kinda
go
have
to.
picturesque
like,
looks
yeah,
a
like the
little
thing is
bit.
like it makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. All right, so they have offices in New York City. Oh, where do they all go? Here.
Yep, that
so
makes
they're
sense.
like, well, that's kind of a cute
And
little
we're
city.
cheaper to deal with in Connecticut. So
yeah, so
exactly.
it's perfect. That's
They're
just
like,
what
we're
I
gonna
think.
go sprinkle some of our Netflix
Dude, the
money,
other one was
some
like
of our House
Omaha,
of Cards
not
blood
Omaha.
money over there. We're just gonna
They have
sprinkle
like
some
one
of our
in
spacey bucks.
Nebraska was one of the other ones. I know
Yeah.
Vallejo, California.
Okay, it was Vallejo.
And,
Okay,
yeah.
And Florida, was there one in Florida? I feel like there was somewhere else, maybe down south. I'm not 100% sure. But
Yeah, there's a couple
if
of
you
southern
guys
ones.
know,
I mean-
if you're listeners and you know any scoop on this, I'm going to tell you to give us a call on our new hotline, 570-795. Whoa! That's 570-795-WOAH, which I believe is like
No one knows.
9642
That's not on your
9624
phone anymore.
9624. It is. Yeah, when you go in there, it is.
I have it saved in my phone. I just haven't used it.
962.
9624.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know what is going on with Netflix here in Stroudsburg.
Yeah, well,
Now, another thing that happened in news, I like to keep with entertainment or food or beverages as much as I can. And this one is entertainment. It is music related. Did you hear Bob Dylan has sold his entire catalog for an estimated worth of at least $300 million to Universal Music Group?
yeah.
So they now own all of his 600
I think
plus
Stevie
songs.
we were just gonna say
Stevie
Stevie
Nicks
Nicks
did
did the same thing for
Did she?
100
The same-
million.
yeah,
100
the same
million.
week, yeah.
Now
She sold-
breaking it down mathematically, he's claimed to have at least 600 songs that are in the catalog. That means that he got paid $500,000
Right.
per song, and some
actually
of
not
them
that
are
much.
really bad though.
I mean,
Some
there's a
them
lot
are
of
really
filler.
bad.
A lot of filler. I
A
mean,
lot of the same
Yeah,
things,
for
you know?
sure.
Yeah,
Like it's not
like-
all, you know, like nice fucking what's the tax man, you know, or like what's the Rolling Stone song? Is it just called Rolling Stone?
Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Knocking on
You
Heaven's
don't
Door.
have to call,
a lot
man.
of them. See, I can't even think about other Bob Dylan
Do you know
songs.
what's scary? We were talking
Or
about this
any of
actually
them.
in the car the
Yeah.
other day because Stevie Nicks did the same thing with a lot of Fleetwood Mac songs. The problem is
She
after
sold Fleetwood Mac songs?
Yeah, but so
Damn.
her songs, like her hit songs, even for $100 million. But the scary thing is what's going to end up happening is they're going to sell them to. They're going to have other artists redo them. Not
of course.
exactly, but use even the beats or
Trap
use
beats,
like
trap
yeah,
beats
like
over
Well,
Fleetwood
they're
Mac
gonna-
or
now
Bob
you need
Dylan.
to
It's
go
gonna
look
suck.
at every artist signed to the Universal Music Group,
mean, that's-
and then in
that's
the
the
next 5
trend.
years, all Bob
That's
Dylan
the
stuff
big trend. The
is.
Yeah, even
sampling used to
Dreams
be the
got
thing.
sold.
Now it's use what we already have.
Yeah, now my thought though is that he is 79 years old, right? It's kind of a you can't take it with you situation. If you were 79 and you had not sold your
Cliff
music
says,
all
"What a
of
waste
this
of money."
time,
Bob Dylan sucks.
doesn't he have plenty of
like
money?
he's
Yeah,
See, I haven't. You know,
I appreciate him, but I don't sit around
the only
listening
reason I
to
appreciate Bob
Blonde
Dylan
on
is for
Blonde.
giving us Bright Eyes, and that's pretty much it.
And a lot of people hate him for the exact same reason.
I literally
I'm
love
more-
Bright Eyes
I
more than
want-
anything
I
on
want-
earth.
You're one of the ones that hate him for that. Now, would you, if you were an artist and you had 600 songs that you could sell and you could get even $100 million, even if it was Stevie Nicks
We do it for
level,
$8.
would you? Would you?
I got 100 songs.
$8. You get all the rights. Would you
can I buy those?
wait?
I'll buy them right now.
Would you wait
Would
to
you go in your
that
pocket?
age to sell them? Do you think? Would you wait, or would you, if you were going to sell
80
them,
years old?
80 years old.
No.
Dude, I think
And then if
you're
you
a
did, would you
legacy.
just have the craziest 80s ever? Would you just go fucking ham
He doesn't
until you
care.
die?
He's already
Do you
got
think
so
he
much
even
money.
Yeah.
knows? Here's the thing: he probably has a handling team that is like this guy talking to this guy to
Yeah.
this guy, and like somebody probably was having like, does he even drink? Who even knows?
I have
He's
no
like
idea.
Sitting having breakfast, and there's like, hey Bob, we got this really good deal. We can get $100 million. Don't even tell him what he's doing.
He's just
And
like,
he's
all right.
79 years old.
He's like,
He's
and they were like, sure, just sign here, dummy. And he's like,
Stevie Dylan and
best
Bob.
thing, I'll say this. I hope that it doesn't include the Traveling Wilburys, because that is probably one of my favorite groups
Yeah.
of all time, and that is where I appreciate Bob Dylan.
the
Sure.
management team to take the Traveling Wilburys somewhere. I can almost guarantee that Bob Dylan's rights to that shit has not been sold.
And it was also
Probably
recorded
not.
at his studio
Yeah.
in his house. That first record. So he probably owns a lot of it. So maybe it went
Probably.
out there. And I really don't want to hear
Tom
some
Petty's
teeny
not gonna say
bopper
anything.
version of Handle with Care.
Yeah.
Yeah, George Harrison. Yeah,
George
Roy
Harrison's
Orbison.
mom's
It's
the
literally
lyric.
Dylan and Lynn. That's all that's left
Yep.
from that group anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Who has
Dylan and
regret?
Jeff Lynne.
Dylan.
But Jeff Lynne is just as
Jeff
quickly
would've
just
sold
sold.
out.
Yeah, he would have sold
He would
them.
have already. He
Yeah.
probably already
Yeah.
did this in the 90s.
Yeah, he's just like,
He's
I got
fucking
killing
$30
himself now.
for it.
He's
He's
killing
out for the
himself.
Traveling Wilburys. They
Yeah.
probably sold that shit earlier.
Yeah.
So I guess what we should be doing is compare how Jeff Lynne's life was after he probably sold the rights in the 90s, and if Bob Dylan would have been in a better situation if he had done that a long time ago.
But does that mean that people like, let's say like, all right, do like 21 Pilots can redo a Bob Dylan song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because nobody
Yeah.
wants
100%.
that.
Although I don't know, but 21
you want
Pilots,
that?
21
actually one of
Pilots,
the
I'd be
few
on,
groups
I'd
that
be
might
more on
justify
board
it,
with them.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd be more on board with them,
Oh,
especially
that's
if they did it with like Mute. What was it, Mute Math?
Mute.
Is Mute that
Mute
big
Man.
of a band
Yeah,
though?
but they did a big thing with 21 Pilots where they
Yeah, they
played
did a whole this whole live thing.
It
with
was
both
great.
bands.
It was great.
It's
So
really
they
fucking cool.
collab on something cool. But again, I don't personally have that much of a connection to Bob Dylan songs made
I don't
evident by me
either.
trying to name anything. And
If I have
all
to
the
do
Stevie
Wagon
Wilburys
Nicks,
songs
I
are
have,
in my head.
hard
I have a
time.
real
Yeah.
problem with.
I hate that song. I'm so fucking sick
Wagon
of
Wheel,
it.
dude. Wagon Wheel. You hear it at every bar.
Yeah.
But taking
It's
like, I
always-
don't want to hear
And he didn't
somebody.
even write most of it. He took a folk song that already existed, which is a lot of what he just sold is other people's music for the most part, that he just stole from like black blues guitar players that he knew that nobody would ever hear their stuff. And it was like, meh, like I'll just take it along, and now I have it. So he kind of is like maybe an evil thief at this point too. Like he was maybe always an evil thief, but
I
now
think
he's an evil
Bob
thief that
Dylan just-
really made
I don't
money.
think he ever tried.
No.
I think he just was born and he's just like, ah.
He doesn't even cut his
he
hair.
He just complained about a bunch of shit, played the harmonica, but people just kept grabbing him and be like, Bob, go on stage here. I'm like, I don't want to be
here.
Fuck this shit.
Fuck that. They have a crane that picks him up and drops him down.
Like,
that'd be great. Dylan crane.
Did you see this fame coming when you were a child? Like, no, I was just complaining about some shit.
I picked up guitar the first time I ever played the guitar, and I was mumbling along. Some guy came along and gave me a record contract. And I was just like, all right, before we go off too far on a tangent on Bob Dylan and how stupid and silly he is, we've got some beverages to taste. We're already tasting one of them, so let's hit it. What are we drinking?
We drink it so you don't have to. Reviewing in the morning from the bathroom. Cheap booze and craft brews. Reviewing in the morning from the bathroom. What are we drinking? What are we drinking? Yeah!
All right, guys. So today we are doing some sipping on Carling Canada. Sorry, Carling Canada Black Label beer. Over a century of international brewing tradition, product of the USA. It's called Carling Canada, but it was founded in 1840. So it's not the oldest brewery, but it's a very old brewery for North America.
I don't understand why it's called this.
I have no idea anything about this. Now, SteveO, you've got the little sleeve on there. We have some Miller Lite sleeves that we got. You say this brings you back to Philly. Do most shitty beers bring you back to Philly?
I've never drank this.
See, the thing is, when we all first moved to Philly, shitty beer was the order of the day. So,
Yeah.
be it this particular one.
When I lived there, same thing, yeah.
This is actually prior to the days of hams.
Ooh.
So I'm thinking like,
So you have had this years ago.
Yeah, and I actually.
How long has it been, do you think, since you last had this?
Last time I had a black label, I would say probably a decade.
A decade. Now, do you remember enjoying it, or was it just a good, cheap, easy beer to get?
I remember enjoying the time surrounding it. I will never.
That's good.
I will never say the beer or is this malt liquor?
I've never even seen this in the Midwest.
It kind of does have a malt liquor-y taste.
I always had a feeling this was malt liquor. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think it.
But it is
doesn't
malt.
taste like malt liquor.
It's
to
got
me.
that sweetness in there. That's more.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a better made light type of beer, because it's just black label beer. It doesn't say lager, doesn't say ale, doesn't say. It really gives you very little information on it.
Here's a little history, guys.
Ooh, we got a history lesson coming.
So, Carling was founded in 1840 in London, Ontario, by English immigrants to Canada.
Oh.
In the 80s, it became the most popular beer brand by volume sold in the United Kingdom.
Really?
Not in Canada, in the UK.
So they drink it
sold
more?
more of this shit in the UK in the 80s than anywhere else.
Jesus.
And then it was bought
Drinking classy
eventually.
British beer from Canada, America.
Eventually merged with Molson,
Ooh.
which was then bought by Coors.
All right.
Which is probably why it's made in America these days.
Product of USA. Now,
it's
in the
made in
chat there,
Milwaukee.
we've got a lot of chatting going along, so we're not going to be able to get to all of it. But
It's Coors and Miller own
Sean.
everything.
We'll get to all of it.
Yeah, we might. Sean Boyo's in the chat here.
What up,
and
Sean?
he says that they had one case of this beer at the distributor for 2 years untouched until he bought it. And this one was set up on display, only one of them, on top of a stack of other beer. It was the only one there, and I grabbed it. I'm like, we're going to take this. And the girl goes, oh, I have it cold. And I went, I was really thinking this was just like a 4-year-old case of beer. And I was like, do you have more of them? But I do believe that this has to be old. The sign of what the wear and tear on it looks like plenty of things have been stacked on that for the last decade or so.
It reminds me of Miller Lite.
It does kind of have Miller Lite sweetness, maybe a little bit more like, maybe a little bit more on the PBR side of things. I don't hate it. But we do have to give it a grade of a 0 to 100. Now, does it say besides black beer what type of beer it is? Oh, we got a shock face here.
Holy shit!
What's
This is just a cool ass story.
We're going out of wiki.
In 1927, Carling offered a $25,000 prize for the first person that could fly a plane from London, England to London, Ontario. So the guy to try it, Captain Terry Tully and Lieutenant James Metcalf, in a Stinson Detroiter monoplane
Oh, nice.
named the Sir John Carling, They took off from London, Ontario on September 1st, 1927, and were never seen again.
Damn. Yo,
Disappeared over the ocean.
All right.
Disappearances. Let's get Marissa on
Yeah,
that
we
one.
need to get, but what do we know
But
in
yeah,
on this
but what
beer?
do we know?
Plane
But
disappearance.
what do beer know? We can do a crossover
Ah,
show.
there we go.
Where we just do weird.
When they explain it and we get
And
drunk.
we get drunk, right? Keep
Everybody listen
I'm in.
to the show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, Marissa investigate the whole thing.
All right, so 0 to 100, Justin, what are you giving this? It's an easy beer to drink. I think this is
50.
50, middle of the road. It's not bad. It's not offensive. It's not necessarily flying colors passing for you. SteveO, what are you giving this guy? Nostalgia sakes or not? What are we going for?
Hearing Justin go with a 50, I'm almost inclined to agree.
Yeah?
The one thing
Oh.
for me is that I
These
don't
are way
recall
lower than
my
I thought.
prior ratings were on other beers.
Yeah.
Therefore, we've had definitely better beers here, and I might
Yeah.
have rated them more poorly.
The last one you did was hams, just so you know. So we
Really?
know you gave
What did I
hams,
rate hams
I
at?
think an
Yeah,
87.
you gave it
I
super
think
high.
is
That was when you were saying
because that's when
hands.
Zach gave it a 62.769 or something
Okay,
like
okay.
that.
So then, if that's the case, then comparing this to hams, I give hams like an 80 rating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump up. I'm gonna give this a 70.
Okay.
70,
Okay.
all right.
This is sessionable.
Jen, what are you
I
thinking?
like this more than hams, but I
Okay.
don't like this more than I like Miller High Life.
Okay, all
Fair
right,
enough.
fair,
So
fair.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick at a solid 60.
60.
All right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you can go in between those numbers, but I like
Because
to
High Life
round
would be
even
like
numbers.
an
Makes my
80.
math easy.
Yeah.
All right,
You know?
Zach, what are you thinking
I'm
of this?
liking it.
I really like this.
I'm really liking it.
Yeah.
67.
Okay, I was gonna go 73. Was immediately what I thought.
Well,
so I think
that's
73.
We're all at 70.
Yeah.
You go 67. You go 73.
Yeah, I think that's gonna go. And then we gotta
I do
factor
have
in
a
our 50 and our 60. So this is gonna be
Sorry.
in the mid 60s. Then it's gonna be in mid 60s. But we do have another beer that we have to get to. While this is pleasant and decent to drink, I don't know what we're getting into on this one.
I'm not big on like brown ales or
Yeah,
I'll be
brown
honest with
ales
you, I don't
or
want.
stouts or
You know what?
porters.
Drink it.
Feel free to take a sip and then we will waste it because it was a $5 4-pack.
I'll probably just drink it quickly.
So just so you know, it was a $5 4-pack. We have the Cigar City Brewing out of Tampa, Florida.
You ever been there?
Tampa, Florida? Yes, but not to Cigar City Brewing. Never to there. I've been to
I've been to
Tampa,
Tampa.
St. Pete. I've been in that
There's
area.
Ybor
what's-
City.
Ybor, that's what
Ybor
that's
City,
the-
I've had some time in
Ybor
Ybor City.
City.
I was there
I
for
thought
work.
I
I
had
didn't
some-
do anything fun
I
but
had some
drink.
fun in Ybor City.
Now we do have here the Oatmeal Raisin Cookie Brown Ale. The addition of raisin, cinnamon, and milk sugar to our full-bodied and chocolatey brown ale base creates a unique beer that tastes exactly like it was pulled out of Grandma's oven. What?
It's a heady way to describe it, man. Pulled out of
Grandma's oven? That sounds like a euphemism. Oh, you said butt. I was like, butt? Did I misspeak a word there? Now, not
This
a big
doesn't smell
brown
like
ale
anything.
It
fan.
doesn't smell like anything. Yeah, you're right.
It smells like a brown. It smells like a Dundee. Like it smells kind of just like a Dundee right now. What the? All right, so let's give this a sip and give it a grade.
Oh wow, I don't hate this like I thought I would.
No,
All
It's
right,
actually good.
it actually tastes
Ooh.
like a cookie.
it
Yeah.
actually has oatmeal raisin at the end there.
This is
After you
good.
get over the beer
Yeah.
taste, ooh,
This is. I can't believe I like.
I am
this.
loving
I
this.
can't believe this was $5.
This is
for
phenomenal.
A 4-pack.
This is really good.
Way better than I thought it would be.
Way
Yeah.
better than it
It's a
should be,
million times
even.
better than it should be.
I don't want to think too much about it. I know I gave that a 73, so I don't want to go crazy too high. I'm gonna give this a 78. I believe this is almost an 8 out of 10. Especially, I probably would go higher, but I'm kind of hedging it because I think I was expecting to hate it so much, and then I'm so shocked. I don't want to go. Last week we rated things really, really high. I'm trying to
Level the playing
that
field.
out. So yeah, 78 on that. Zach, what are you thinking on this guy? First impressions.
I love raisins. 72.
72. There we go. All right, SteveO, what are you thinking on this? A little shock. We didn't think it was going to be this good.
They're running a shock and awe campaign with this, I think, because the thing is, I'm shocked, but now I'm in awe so much I almost want to go back to my black label
Yeah,
because
Right.
that is something nice to do.
I almost want
I'm going to go back. I'm going to take a little sip in between.
I almost want to do a 1 and 2 because the thing is, black label is so middle of the road that this will give me.
It tastes almost like nothing afterwards. That's why I really like
Yeah.
going from a real beer, like a really heavier tasting beer, not a real beer. They're all real beers. But to a lighter beer, it is like a palate cleanser. But this sustains on your tongue. Like
Yeah.
that just, I feel
And
like
it doesn't
I ate
have
a
a
cookie.
beer like too
This
much
is
of a beer
remarkably not bad.
taste.
Yeah.
to it.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking? 0 to 100.
Dude, I'm gonna go probably 69.
Good number. Great
it's up
number.
There. It's up there, but it's
All
not
right.
quite there.
All right, Jen, you're shocked by it. You
honestly,
said off the bat that you weren't going to finish it.
I was like,
Yeah.
I really don't want to try this
Yeah.
because I read it and I was like,
And you
that
think it's
sounds
gonna be real
gross.
thick and malty,
I thought honestly,
like extra
I at first thought it was gonna be
sugary?
kind of like not stouty, but I thought it was gonna be thicker and darker. And I was like, I won't even like that. I'll think it's disgusting. I hate stouts; they're so gross.
So,
But this is surprisingly light for what it is.
Yeah.
And also not
the
too
ale side
sweet.
of it. The
yeah,
ale,
it's light, but
It
it's
really
also
isn't that sweet.
it's really not.
The
There's
oats
not,
help.
but
Yeah.
it
Cut it.
actually
The
has
raisins
like
where
it
the
has
sweetness is.
that like flavor of an actual oatmeal raisin cookie.
Fuck yeah.
But the raisin part's not overpowering, which you know that raisin is not anybody's favorite part of an oatmeal cookie.
Sometimes it is for me. Sometimes, depending
Unless
on
it's that.
that means it's a worse cookie though.
See,
and the raisins the highlight.
Yo, professional baker over here.
Professional baker.
Don't like
Hey,
raisins
hey,
or
amateur baker.
We're getting to that. We're getting to that.
Hey,
yeah.
professional fat man over here.
I
Give
think
me the
plenty of
fucking raisins.
All right, so 0 to 100, Jen. What do you think?
I'm gonna stick it at a. What did I say the black label was?
I don't know. I forget. That's why we record this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So I don't have to remember.
I'm gonna give it a 70 for its refreshing.
All right, nice. And then I think the last person that has to
Lightness.
grade it is Mr. Justin.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
78.
78?
Yeah,
Hell
it's
yeah.
good. It tastes like a cookie.
All right. Well, we can sip on these while we enjoy some really awesome music. As mentioned earlier, we are featuring a band tonight from Munich, Germany, Little Teeth. Again, friends of our guests on the show tonight. And I'm just going to say friends of mine now because I don't know how to make friends appropriately. And I talked to somebody online 3 times and
is how
they're my
Kyle makes
girlfriend,
friends.
you know, or they're my boyfriend, or they're my just friend. You know, it's whatever, man.
Dude. I'm not
That's how I
judging you.
make. Stop looking at me with those eyes, all right? Stop looking at me with those.
Sorry.
I don't know how to interact in person. Online's better. So either way, these guys are amazing. The song Bender came out last year. It is extremely catchy. Just I can't pinpoint where they fit in the realm of the punk music world. Because they kind of blend a lot of sounds that I really enjoy, but they do sound like they came out of Pennsylvania. They have the feeling and the sound that they came.
Oh, that is bold.
Like I feel like they could have come up with the Menzingers and been side by side with the Menzingers, and you would have been like, okay, like there's that, or even
I
a
get
little
more
bit
of
of.
like a Chicago
Sure,
punk
I can
vibe, but
hear
that's
that.
probably because I know Jason too well.
And then I also kind of have the feeling of
Chicago
like the early 2000s into late 2000s, like your Gaslight Anthem, like early Brian Fallon kind of feel on the singer-songwriter side of things. And I hate ever comparing things because I don't know if I'm gonna say the one thing that person goes,
See, I see
"Fuck you, I hate Brian Fallon."
Dude,
And I'm
I
like,
see a Nothington thing.
They do have the California Nothington vibe
I
for
see
sure.
the Nothington thing for
So
sure.
I think
Or the Richmond vibe.
What we're
like,
all
you know, like,
finding out.
Yeah, like
Bring
right
back the
before.
vibe
Like
before.
right
Punk
before.
rock is international, and the feeling is international, and it can
Well, I mean,
you
yeah,
can have a band from
members
anywhere.
Yeah, you have members from all over the place.
Yeah.
Did you say they're Little Teeth from Munich?
They're Little
So-
Teeth from
yeah,
Munich, Germany.
Zach, I like your idea, which is that it is the better band name, Little Teeth from Munich.
The whole thing would be their band name, but then they'd be from
Dude,
Omaha.
Go from Germany.
but they
Yeah.
can't be from Munich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we if you like what you hear, you can check out at Little Teeth Band on Instagram. You can find them on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you find music, on Facebook especially. But here it is. This is the lyric video for Bender from Little Teeth. Enjoy. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
Could have been easy, say it as we walked from the bar to the car. Dawn made a break in the west and it broke the young man's heart. An exit from center stage, final page in an epilogue. Now I'm left to paraphrase the life of unfinished songs. Oh, my friend, where have you gone? I've been losing all my life. I can't seem to get it right. I know that I keep believing in all the things that they're thinking. 'Cause everybody knows that it all comes down and goes to what you say when you ain't there. I feel just the fuck up that they always thought I was. I got this friend back home, lived his life with his neck in the noose. That's just the way it goes, he said there's nothing left to prove. Life sort of happens that way, well it's here and the next is black. I wish there were words I could say that could ever bring you back, but there's no bringing you back. I've been losing all my life, I can't seem to get it right. I know that I keep believing in all the things that they're thinking, but everybody knows that it all comes down and goes to what they say when you ain't there. I feel it burning in my ears, that I'm just the fuck up that they always thought I was. Well, keep the door closed, ain't no coming back from this. Well, I wrote my note, I gave my girl one last kiss. Locked myself in a lower level bathroom, ain't no coming back from this. Cause I know, cause I know, cause I know I've lost my home. I've been losing all my life, I can't seem to get it right. I know that I keep believing in all the things that they're thinking, but everybody knows that it all comes down and goes to what you say when you ain't there. I feel it burning in my ear. All I know, it's been coming on for far too long. Run my guitar, sing my song. Don't cry for me just cause I've been gone. I've been giving up cause I keep fucking losing like that piece of shit you always said I was.
All right, there you guys have it again. That is Little Teeth, a band that happens to be from Munich.
Little Teeth from Munich.
Not a band called Little Teeth from Munich. But either way, the song's fucking amazing.
Yeah, no,
Bender,
it's great.
love it. Go check out all their other music, guys. And one of my favorite things that they've done in recent months through COVID and everything that is going on, they started selling beanies, and it looks like that they had a really fun DIY approach to it, where they must have like ordered.
Handcrafted.
Are the beanies themselves handcrafted? Because it looks like they did like let me buy just like whatever color beanies you can just give me for what I can, and then they sewed their own label on it. And I went, that is the coolest fucking thing ever. And being broke as shit this year, I'm like, God damn it! If there's like one thing I could have bought, would have been replace the Vans beanie with a fucking Little Teeth beanie.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of that corporate shill stuff.
I gotta get rid of it, man. Nobody wants to wear a Vans hat anymore. Nobody wants to do that anymore.
I know one guy.
Anyway, so we, as always, write an original single, and we're going to get to that. But before we talk about that, do we want to do one voicemail?
Sure.
One voicemail. So again, 570-795-WHOA is the number to call. WOAH. We have 2 calls so far.
Right.
I'm going to play you one just because I really want to know who this is.
Right.
It was from an unknown person, and I feel like it's you, and I'm not sure.
There's a good chance.
I wouldn't have called.
He
unknown,
wanted to
though.
call.
But I've had the number since
Here
I
it
saw
is.
an episode.
He wanted to call. No, not yet.
That's not it. That's not in my MO.
Nobody. And I mean, nobody is as sexy as you. Please.
You're even breaking character. This is.
I have no idea, even when they break character, who that is.
I honestly weirdly thought it was like the weird gallery guy from Downtown Star. Stroudsburg, but
I
have no
hope
idea
it's
what
just
his name
somebody
is.
I don't know, and
But
that's
in
just
my
a
head,
fan
it's
from
him.
afar. So
I was hoping that was me.
drunk,
Oh,
blacked
no,
out,
dude,
and you didn't.
That's definitely.
He
I
kept
was
saying-
really hoping, but I'm like
So-
closing my eyes and trying to picture you even doing that voice. I'm like, that doesn't sound like you
he
at all.
thought,
with conviction.
dude, he thought that he could call the hotline while you were on the air.
Oh, we were gonna do that at some
And he
point.
We are,
wanted,
yeah.
so he kept being like, "I gotta call it right now and tell him the answer to what," or because I have something to say about what he just said.
We
And I was
kept
like,
talking about
"You
Taylor
can't
Hand.
Oh, we
do
couldn't
that."
remember.
So
he's
he wanted-
texting me
he
Hawkins.
started to call
Hawkins,
it, and I was like,
Hawkins.
Yeah, I was like, "You can't." No, I was like, "It's the next day.
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
gonna say." his
Luckily,
name is
I
Hawkins.
turn off all alerts from that thing, so I don't get any actual calls. It just goes
Yeah,
right to
I had to
voicemail.
warn
I
him.
was there, man. I
So-
You
was
would have
there.
had the dumbest voicemail.
We have an argument in chat right
Oh,
now.
what's going on with this chat?
Marissa's saying that's definitely Cliff.
What's
Oh,
And Cliff is saying no way.
Wait,
no
what did Cliff
way.
do about what?
No way.
the
Dude, that
voicemail.
could have been.
Is it Cliff?
He said he says he didn't know the number until now.
They live together and they're
I'm
both
I'm gonna say that.
Cliff's not an exaggerator nor a liar, so I would believe Cliff.
I don't see Cliff doing it.
And
I
Marissa does like
definitely see Cliff
conspiracy
doing it.
theories, so
That
she
is
would
true.
be. I'm going to side with Marissa and say that this is the new conspiracy theory. Conspiracy. That we are going to. Cliff is leaving me love notes. Thank you very much, Cliff. I appreciate it. But we have to press onward. We wrote a bizarre song. We always write bizarre songs. We always write silly songs. Not always silly, but we always write weird music. And tonight we wrote a bizarre, weird song. To start, we said we were going to write
last
a
week's
synth
song was
rock
pretty
song.
weird.
Last week was a very weird song. But this week, we said we were going to write synth rock.
Yes.
And at some point, you're recording drums, and Zach goes, let me lay some guitar down so you have something more to play to get where we're going with this. And what he recorded just sounded like the Beastie Boys. And then he just started jokingly rapping back and forth in the recording room. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm erasing everything that I just wrote for this kind of serious story.
Right.
Not serious, but we're going to do a retelling of A Christmas Carol.
Right.
And then I went, no, fuck it. It's way more fun if I can be like Ebenezer, cheap old geezer, and just like rhyme it from there. And that's where we start. As far as the vocal side of it, we are combining, I'll say, early 2000s nu metal into screamo singing vocals for the chorus.
Yeah, without any of the screams.
Without any of the screams, but like the if you took Hawthorne Heights and you took the guy out of it, just
Under Oath?
so no, but no
Minus
screams, and then with old school raps, where I at some point just started getting real shovel faced New York
Hollywood
hardcore with my
Dead?
accent. We had to pull it back
E-Town
a little bit. Yeah, it was getting tense, bro.
Yeah.
It was getting tense.
Where's Walt?
So Zach,
exactly.
when you started working on the song, it was a lot of synth. You still kept synth in there. There was still a heavy hand of synth. But what genre would you say that we wound up in? Starting at the idea of synth rock, and then where do you?
It's
Is it rap rock? Are we just straight up rap rock?
It's like 2000s alt rock.
Okay,
Right.
all right. Now, as far as the writing of it, were you pulling from anything? Were you listening to anything specifically that pushed you in that direction this week?
Nope.
Nope. Just your whole life built up to this moment, and that's what came out. Now, Justin, as far as the drums,
Yeah, I think I was the one to push it into
it.
that more of that feel.
Yeah, you definitely directed it there.
Because
and
we
then-
did recording of drums a little different. We only did that one synth part, really.
Yeah.
And then we sort of sectioned it out, like wrote it.
It was kind of writing it while you were in the room
Yeah.
playing drums, which usually the song is pretty much set. You
Right.
go in and you add stuff to it. But you have a lot of fun, Zach, with the editing side of things, the mixing, and there are certain little tricks of just making it sound like that you do in certain parts that I always really enjoy.
It's like things skipping.
It sounds like it's skipping. So if you hear it and it sounds like it's skipping, it's supposed to, motherfucker. We're regular Andy Kaufmans over here, or are we more like Charlie Kaufmans over here? We're Kaufmans either
It's
way.
like the
Coffin
Linkin Park
usually.
effect where it's like, in the second verse.
Ah,
Yeah.
Chester Benningfield
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Like that kind of
Yep.
shit.
Well, that's basically where I started. Look,
Right.
kitty cat, get off of that. But the idea for the main vocals started at Chester. That's where I was trying to go. And I won't say I accomplished that at all. But I will say that this is a silly, silly, fun, stupid song. Another song that might make a great...
say I love Linkin Park.
Yeah, you do love them.
Great.
I
don't have a problem.
I always
with
hated them publicly. And
that first album came out when I was 12.
Closer to loving Linkin Park.
Like that was so big when I was a kid to me. You know what I mean?
It was everywhere in high school, so it was the thing to hate when I was in high school. Also, the kids at like 311 and Chevelle liked Linkin Park. And I didn't know anything about 311 and Chevelle, but those kids
I never knew a soul that liked
those kids.
Chevelle.
Oh, there's a hair tie on the floor. She found a hair tie from like years ago. She's going to be playing with it. Well, we'll be able to fix this situation when we jump into this song. So here is our version of A Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol. We were going to call it A Synthmas Carol, but then the synth part dropped out. So here is A Christmas Carol, our Brunch Weekly original single. What did we come in at? 5 minutes? 4 minutes?
4:12.
All right, guys. It's a pop song.
Yeah.
Enjoy me rapping. When we come back, we're going to eat some cookies. Hit it.
Cheap ass geezer won't spend a shilling on heat. Old Bob and Co. say Scrooge don't know. Cheers free. Oh, he's too cheap. Then in the night, NBC's a fright. Marley's ghost wrapped up in chains. Jacob told his chum, don't be a bum. 3 ghosts will show you the way. He's all the humbug. He's a miser till the end. He is all the humbug. He's a hand that never fails. Back to the past, first ghost told the old man to take a peek. How he was shrewd, one rude ass dude, losing love to his life of greed. The second spirit showed him clear it wasn't all left in the past. Scrooge had no peeps who really wanted to see his grumpy face at mass. He is all the humbug. He's a miser till the end. He is all the humbug. He's a hand that never fails. Spirit 3, ghost of what's to be on a set Ebenezer Street. Change your tune or you'll see soon your name carved upon this grave. When Scrooge awoke, he was a different bloke. He changed for good within. He bought up a goose, went to Bob's to cut loose, bringing Christmas with him.
I've been listening to them a lot lately.
Oh, there you go, guys. There you have it. That is our Brunch Weekly original single. There's some funniness happening in the chat that we don't have time to get to. Emery, you said Emery. That is a band that I love. They played at the Under the Edge, or Over the Edge, or whatever the fuck it was called. But they were really great. But either way, our Brunch Weekly original single, A Christmas Carol. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. It'll be up for your
We fucked
viewing
up
and
though
listening
because we should have
pleasure.
done it as Ebenezer Scrooge as a woman and called it a Christmas Karen.
He mentioned this as we were finishing the song, and we're like, it would have been good.
Next year.
Change
Next
all the
year.
lyrics to be from a woman's perspective.
Next year we have to do the revisiting.
We're
of
going to have
Christmas
to
Karen.
revisit Christmas Karen. Now, guys, we are here to taste some cookies. Now, what I've done, prepared for us, I've made 2 sets of cookies, and Jen has made her cookies as well. Hers are vegan, mine are not. To accompany that option, I do have regular milk and oat milk as well, if anybody needs it. I know what they are, so I'm going to be kind of tasting which tastes better dipped in which milk type of situation. Do you need the milk, Justin? Would you
Yeah,
like the
can I
milk?
have
All right, so
each?
do you want any of this milk, Zach?
No, I drink a lot.
All right, can you pass this over to Sir
I'll probably
Justin?
drink some later.
You'll probably drink some later.
Oh,
So
do you
this
have
is
baby food for yourself?
regular Lehigh Valley Dairy Pure, and then we also have Planet Oat milk. If you want to
do
pass that over
love
as
oat milk.
well. I wasn't sure. You know,
I don't think
Better
I've ever
calories
had
on here.
oat milk.
I've had oat milk. My roommate has oat milk at home, so sometimes
made
when
from
we're out of
oatmeal?
milk, I think you just take what's left of your oatmeal
Okay.
and
like
you
those.
just throw it on the side over there. That works. Now, I just want to gauge you guys right off the bat. Looking at them, do you think you can guess which ones are vegan and which ones are not vegan? Just by look.
No.
On this, on the
You're
chocolate
looking at the
chip?
chocolate chip
Yes.
first. You think you can tell?
Oh, the chocolate chip, yeah.
And then
I
on
can't.
the sugar cookie, do you think you can tell? That's the next one. And we
No,
Just
I'm
by
trying
looks,
to
no.
think who had the more gumption to frost a cookie.
Yeah.
you gotta think that because one is frosted, one is not. Now, Jen, you just tell us a little bit about your history in baking vegan goods. Like you've done this on some form of a professional level in the past.
Well, I kind of fell into it.
Okay.
So one of my best friends, when we were in Philly, I needed a job. Granted, I had baked like my whole life, not like a ton. I always liked cooking and whatever. But she was like, "Baking, do you want to do it?" But mind you, we worked with we use no refined sugars or anything, so which is a lot more difficult. And super expensive.
Yeah.
I will say it's super expensive to do on your own if you want to do like microbiotic stuff. But so I wasn't able to do that currently. But I did that for like 2.5, 3 years with her, and it was a blast. Like we had so much fun, and I learned a lot,
yeah.
mostly from her. Like she's absolutely incredible. Like she actually she has her baked goods in Grindcore in Philly.
Okay.
So she bakes for both of them, and her stuff sells out like immediately.
Hell yeah.
She's by far like one of the best bakers I've ever met. But I did have like several mishaps today with.
Now, to go before we get into the mishaps, when just for people, because I can bake at home and I can look at the ingredients that I'm mixing together and go, okay, this isn't vegan and this isn't vegan. I know why this isn't. There's an egg and there's real butter and stuff like that. When you are baking vegan items, what is the hardest thing to replace, do you think, as far as somebody that has had non-vegan and vegan? Is it the butter side of things, or is like replacing egg with like oil? Is that like really set it off that much different?
So, butter is the easy one.
Okay.
Because Earth Balance or like Neo Coast or like there's so many vegan butter brands now that's super easy. Egg is also really easy.
Is it just
depending
oil?
where
Do you
live.
just replace it
It's-
with oil,
You're
or
literally just taking out the egg, and like all of it is like sometimes like if you end up having like too much, like with certain oils having too much oil, because a lot of the time the butter ends up being more oily.
Right.
Okay.
So you have more like expansion
All right.
or whatever. But like a lot of the time, like when I was working at the bakery, when we were working at the way that we were doing it with like macros was we were using orange juice, oil, and maple syrup. And those are your 3 main ingredients. But maple syrup is super expensive.
Yeah.
And
Right.
granted, they take out all the sugar. So you're, like, not using any sugar. That's it. And then you're using your, like, both of your flours.
Okay.
And blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I think that's, like, the...
Is there anything hidden in other ingredients that you wouldn't think of that you have to replace? Is there anything
I
like...
use cornstarch a lot.
Okay.
That's one that I've learned recently with changing from the recipes I used to use. Like I said, like I had a whole disaster day with an old recipe.
Yeah.
And cornstarch was the saving grace.
Okay.
And cornstarch, cream of tartar, like stuff like that. Like
Cliff says, "What about applesauce?" That shit.
Applesauce, yeah. I hear about that.
I don't cook with applesauce. I personally don't care to do it. I've never really done it. So
Yeah.
you can use like.
So
I
we don't have any
Evercleaser.
apples mixed into any of these. All
And
right.
please
all right.
tell me that nobody is allergic to almond.
No nut allergies
No,
here.
seriously,
Just
I was
a bunch of
It
nuts.
was seriously the worst. The other day going somewhere, I was like, I brought all these baked goods for a family of 12, and I was like, here's all these things. And then after people like had already ate them, they were like, hey, there was some
I was
nuts
like
in it,
slowly
right?
blowing up. They're just
And I was like,
what's in this?
oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I was like, oh no, oh no. I like dropped them off, and I was
jeez.
like, everyone's gonna die.
You killed 12 children.
Their whole life still. I was like, it's only almond milk. Almond milk is mostly just water.
All right, so looking at these cookies straight up, Justin, do you have an idea on the chocolate chip cookies, which one is which?
No, I actually really.
All right, do you think the two of you, because again, SteveO has seen,
I have.
we were going to blindfold him, but he's seen, so he's just here to kind of for extra commentary. Do you guys think that either of these cookies look like they were specifically made by me? Knowing me as well
No.
as you do. So you don't think there's any visual cues
No.
to anything on that. All right, now you said, Zach, that you think that you know which one on site is the vegan and which one is not. We're not going to give it away. Which one do you think is vegan? You think
The flatter one.
the flatter one is the vegan one, and then the larger one, Justin, if you can give it up close.
Like Jen said,
Larger one.
I sold myself out.
when you're replacing the butter with not things that are actually
Spreads.
butter, you spread.
You spread a little bit. All right. So
Fair
Sold
enough.
Of course
myself
he
out.
picks it
you
up.
sold yourself out there. Now, not confirming anything that Jen just confirmed. Let's give a little
Yeah,
taste.
now Kyle's could still be shit though. Like yours could.
I'm
still
not a
be
professional
way
baker.
better,
That is a
you
very
know?
good chance that it's not
Well,
good.
imagine if mine are terrible.
Well,
though.
that's the fun
Granted,
part
I
of this here.
literally have never.
All right. Well, we're all gonna go with what Zach thinks first.
Do I get
is
to talk
the
about my
vegan.
mishap earlier?
Yeah. While we're
Okay.
eating this, why don't you get
Oh,
in on
all right.
that?
So what happened is I went with like a tried and true recipe that I 100% knew was totally great. Did it completely. I was like, oh, I can do this in like an hour. It'll be awesome. They literally melted into a flat,
Oh, no.
burnt thing of a pan.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh shit. So I was like, I'll just try it again and it'll be fine. So I did it again. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? I have no idea what I did. So I actually had to go with something I've never done before.
Okay.
Same thing with the sugar cookies too. Or like sugar cookies are very, very
Bite your
difficult to do.
Bite your tongue. Let's
Yeah,
just
we don't want to
do
give
it.
away more away.
But
All right,
I won't.
so-
I'll be quiet. I'm so sorry.
Chewing on the flatter of the two. What are your thoughts on this cookie, Justin?
It's
have
really
you-
good.
And have you dipped it into
I have.
either or both? Both? All right.
It's the same effect with both.
You're not getting much difference. So far, one cookie.
It's a very delicious cookie.
It is a very delicious cookie. Thank you. Now let's look at the second cookie. Visually, yeah, like the first one is a little bit more spread out and everything. This one, I don't know. I feel like that kind of looks a little bit
This
more.
looks more traditional.
Sorry,
Traditional-
Chips Ahoy.
It looks like a chip. I was gonna say it looks like somebody bought it. But giving this a little taste here, and I'm just gonna say, right off the bat, I like this one better.
Yeah, the other cookie was way better.
I like the flat one better. It somehow tastes more buttery.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, which one are you gonna stick with your bet over here? Good ASMR here for everybody.
I will say, chewing into a
Wow,
microphone
yeah.
is honestly an amazing sound.
Oh yeah.
It sounds great. We should
Could
do
you
some more
make a
slurping
definitive
over
taste
here.
or decision which one is which?
Yeah.
You could.
100%.
100%. Is it based more than just on the visual side of things?
Yeah.
All right, what is setting it apart? We will just say, we didn't hide it very well. The flatter one is the vegan one on this. It is the vegan one.
It was an accident.
But that chocolate is really good. Like, everything about the cookie I really like. What are you thinking
It was a really good
that
cookie.
sets it apart
So-
flavor-wise?
What I can tell, and now they're both great. That's what I'm saying. Both cookies are great. But I can taste the more oily butter and egg substitute.
Okay.
The flat one, when you're chewing it, when you've got it all chewed, it's more liquidy
Okay.
than the other one.
All right. Now, if both of these cookies...
Once you've already chewed it and you're about to swallow, one definitely is way more thin,
Okay.
like viscous,
The viscosity.
than the other one. So that leads me
stop
to
eating
believe
it.
that the one that has
polished
higher
it both of them.
viscosity probably doesn't have real egg or real butter in it.
Understandable.
Because it's hard to hide the viscosity.
There's
of,
actually
of-
no egg replacer. We all know that I made that
Right.
one. But there's literally no egg replacer in it at all. Like, it was seriously just like butter blended with brown sugar and then baking powder, baking soda, flour.
But it
blah,
is the
blah.
vegan butter.
But the vegan butter
yeah.
is a lot more oily
Yeah.
than anything
Yeah.
else.
But I can taste
Yeah.
that it's more oily than the other. Not
Yeah, well, that's
I'm not
what
saying
causes,
one is
like-
better than the other.
See, I
What I'm
can't.
saying, I can tell that the thickness after I've chewed it completely, there's a difference in thickness.
yeah.
See, I can't tell the difference in ingredients in that, but I do prefer this softer style cookie.
Dude, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Where you can like still have like that like mellow munch as opposed to chomping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like something I
exactly.
have to like gnaw on. That's kind of my thing.
Now, would you
I
say...
think that with pizza too.
If
though.
they were both on a table sitting next to each other and you picked one up, you had it, and then you picked the other, would you guess the vegan one was vegan in any way?
No.
No,
Like, if nobody said it to you. Because that's my
I would
initial
have
thought once
never
biting into it. Marissa's asking in the chat, she said she's confused why is Kyle eating them? Because I'm fat. It's literally the only reason here is because I wanted to eat cookies. All right, so we're going to switch over now to the sugar cookies. This is going to be harder. One is frosting, one does not. Frosting could be, I mean, there's vegan frosting and there's non-vegan frosting.
true.
There isn't a spread in the way that
Frosting
the first
is
one
just
has.
powdered sugar and water, though. How's that not a vegan?
I would say you could
It's
do
powdered
like
sugar
you could
and,
do
like,
like
milk
butter frosting
or-
and stuff like that too. There's different
Yeah.
frostings
There's
that can have
several
like
different
butter
types of
cream and
frosting.
stuff like that in there. You ever no idea what this
I
is?
fucking hate baking.
I love it.
I love eating
I
bacon.
love getting baked, dude. I don't ever do any baking myself.
All right, now Justin, looking at these two sugar cookies, do you think you can tell which one is
No.
which? Zach, looking at the two of them, do you think you can tell which one is which?
I'm only guessing that you did not have the gumption to frost them.
Okay.
That's fine. Just on visual aspect alone, I'm thinking that you were too lazy to
Okay.
frost them, and that Jen was trying to impress us.
Possible. So you're taking the shapes out of it altogether here.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not extra work to make it a tree shape.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
extra work
think it
to put
was.
frosting on.
I think it is. Either way. All right. So, which one do you guys want to go with first? Which one do you want
Let's
to
go
give
with
it
the
to?
round.
The round one. The round, boring.
No, this is about the same size as your chocolate chip cookie.
I don't know. Maybe it is. It might be. It might be the same size.
My powers of deductive reasoning are astronomical.
You know what this cookie could use? Some frosting.
Good cookie though.
It's not a bad cookie.
It's a very good cookie.
What's
I
good?
feel like this is also kind of a cookie that they like, you know, you get in Rivendell when they send you on your long journey and they're like, don't eat a whole one.
But it's the size of a loaf of bread.
Yeah, but it's the size of a loaf of bread. I feel like this is
they
that.
wrap it in a leaf and you
Yeah, they wrap it in a
wait
leaf,
for a while.
and they're like, "How many did you have? 6." You know, and you're like, "Shit," and you're just shitting. They cut that scene out of.
Yeah.
We're Barry and Kipper
Diarrhea.
just going to town. Yeah. All right. Okay. So thoughts on the first one? I think it's dry. I think it is in need of a little bit of something. So
It's not a
that is
bad
where
cookie.
milk comes in. But I also like to make cookies. When I make certain cookies for coffee, I literally
Yeah.
I'm fat.
Biscotti.
I like to have a nice breakfast. My grandfather, we called it the old man special. For like 50 years of his life, he ate 2 cookies of whatever style he had and a cup of coffee for breakfast. He lived to be 94 and insane. So, hey,
Hey, keep eating them cookies and for breakfast.
gonna keep going. All right.
For your coffee.
I will say milk accentuates this cookie. It opens up the bouquet a little bit more.
Yeah.
Ah,
It kind of has a package thing going. I have not
Definitely.
opened it up. I'm going to open it up with a little bit of this black label and see what happens.
All
There
right.
we
So then we've got Zach. You've already jumped into the one with the frosting on it, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
jump into that guy as well.
What's good cookie? That's good.
Oh my God,
That's
that
a
is a good
really
cookie.
good cookie.
Yeah, it is.
Now I know which one is which
Okay.
because
We're terrible at hiding
We're
things.
so bad at this.
We're really bad at this.
I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Did my vain excuse to have a night where we all just sit around and eat cookies go awry? Oh
Me
no!
apologizing for everything that could go wrong mean anything? Because I'm like, oh, just in case that might not be there.
I have to say,
I'm so sorry, I messed up.
we are terrible at this game, but we're really good at cookies.
You know what's funny? We found out you can't find fucking sugar cookies from anybody.
We were gonna buy store brand versions of
Were
everything,
you really?
and they don't sell just sugar cookies like by
like
any
plain?
company, just plain
Well,
sugar
do
cookies.
you know what? I meant to text
Or any,
you.
even frosting,
So
I can't find
I was
them.
gonna text you, but I was like, do you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna text you, and be like, are you gonna like frost yours? Should I frost?
I
yours?
honestly had the thought of
And then I
asking
was like,
you when I was at the store yesterday.
no, just when I went, I was like, he's gonna frost. So, but my whole plan. So I
should've.
had this idea.
That would make them Christmas cookies.
So when I made my frosting, my actual real plan
You should have saw
was.
this in practice in the house, by the way.
Yeah.
I played Skyrim for 12 hours straight.
And I'm just like
What I
listening to
did was
music all the
I
time,
paid
dancing
attention to
around.
nothing that was happening in the house.
Yeah.
Because
And I'm
getting
just-
involved in this was...
Well, he kept trying to
man,
talk.
yeah.
He kept trying to talk to me, and I have like New Red City Radio blasting in my headphones the whole time. That album, perfect. By the way, if you haven't checked it out yet. But so I was like, shit, should I do frosting or not? And then my idea is that I was gonna do, which then you all would have known, is I wanted to put your faces on them. But then when I made the frosting, I was like, I can totally do this. I can do it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I also ran out of time because of my mishap.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can probably still do it. And I was like, I'll just make hair, I'll do all this stuff. And then I realized I didn't have, like, frosting tips or anything at all. And it was like a sheen icing. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this
I
is
will
so
say-
bad.
I think it would be much. I would have picked it the opposite way if your cookie had been ugly like Kyle's.
Yes. Zach thinks circles
Because
are
it was a
ugly.
pretty cookie. I just knew it was yours.
Fair enough.
Like, it was very obvious you made a pretty cookie and
Now-
Kyle made a blobule.
Now I will say one thing. My roommate's girlfriend
That's
has
great, though.
many times been walking through the kitchen in the middle of the night or late at night, and I'm just drunk and baking. And she's like, she's like, I can't, you just can bake, like, and you're just drunk and you're just mixing things together. And I'm like, yeah, I know how to do, like, the base, like, mixture of the sugars and the butter and everything, but I am not a patient baker in any way. So, I do the one thing that you are not supposed to do, and I
the
just...
heat?
No. I just throw the fucking butter in the microwave and I just get liquid hot butter and it makes everything in like that. And that is how I make all my cookies. And I've learned that my cookies have a shelf life of about 2 days before they taste like garbage and get hard, and they actually are cookies that you would take on a trail with you.
Do you know what the worst is?
But they're really good day of. That's why I made them
One
today.
thing that I have learned that never ever open your oven within the first half of baking time,
Yeah.
even
Oh.
if you're not confident, because
Okay.
you will flatten everything.
Oh.
Like it will completely so when even making like muffins and stuff, if you open muffins muffins usually take about 45 minutes. When you put them in that oven, if you open it that first 15, they fucking flatten.
Fuck yeah. Now, I don't,
Oh,
again,
yeah.
say that we have to give a ranking of any of these cookies. I would just say, are there any cookies here, Justin, that you would not eat more of?
No, and I wouldn't know
Either
if they
way,
were just sitting on a
Yeah.
table, I wouldn't know what
one was
what.
vegan and one was not.
And I will say that those were the 2 best vegan things I've ever eaten.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
like,
definitely. I don't know
it's
what
a very
this
tough
had.
thing I've had
You
to
think
deal
might have
with
happened
people's
maybe with
restrictions
this
and stuff,
one.
and it's just hard to come up with something that's flavorful
Yeah.
Yeah.
within
I would say
that
the
realm.
initial bite,
You know what
I
I mean?
thought I made
struggle
the
with
wrong
it,
cookie.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I thought I was supposed to make the vegan cookie on my first bite on the chocolate chip because that just tastes like a good chocolate chip cookie. And I guess like when it really breaks down, if you're using chocolate and sweets, you can fool me into eating almost anything.
Right.
But I would say the only thing flavor wise, there is something on the sugar cookie that I just don't know where to place it. I don't know if it's.
Is it in the frosting? Because
I don't know
I
if
think
it's
it is.
If it's
That's
like
the
a
only
banana,
thing.
It's in the frosting. No,
a
it's-
banana-y coconut
No, do you know
oil
what?
thing. I
So
can't
I
can't
bought-
pinpoint where it's
I
hitting
know
my
what you're
palate.
talking about exactly because when I bought like the gel thing and
Yeah.
I tasted it at a time and I was like, all right, yeah, this tastes fine, like whatever, it's all right. And then when I added like the drops into it, that's when I got a weird flavor and I was like, this tastes like trees. I hope nobody tastes trees when they eat this.
Open what trees you want.
I don't know what kind of
I'm
trees
gonna
it
try
tastes
that
like,
oat
but
The oat milk
Oat
is actually
milk.
not that bad.
It's really not that bad.
I don't know.
Shake it, shake it.
oat milk is super great.
I've enjoyed it time and time again when all of the regular milk is not in stock at my house and my healthy roommate
No, I
has oat
drink
milk.
a lot of fucking milk.
You drink oat milk ever though? Have you ever
Never
had oat
had
milk?
it.
Just
All
drink
right,
real
so
milk.
now we're just
like
going.
as like if you
I
have dinner,
drink a
do you
gallon
just-
of whole milk a week.
Yeah.
I fucking love milk.
I mean, I can taste the difference
I like
between the
butter-
milk.
I like
Such like a
buttermilk.
Oh, yeah.
1970s like family.
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean,
it's
that's what I was raised. You have a glass of milk a day, probably.
Ever
Yeah.
drank, like, I've never
now this
drank
doesn't
milk,
look
really.
like milk
doesn't
at
look
all.
like
No,
milk at
if
all.
somebody
Yeah.
handed me 2
Yeah.
glasses of that, I would know the difference between.
It looks like light eggnog. Now, as your first sip of
It's not
oat
bad.
milk,
It's not bad.
what are the notes you're getting here? What's the taste that's offending or pleasing to you?
It's nuttier.
Nuttier?
Nuttier.
That's true.
Um,
Oatier?
I wasn't gonna say oatier.
I don't think
you
it's
know?
milkier. I think it's less
It's
milky.
no, it's definitely thinner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I drink whole milk.
right out of an udder.
My
If you could.
when I was a kid, we had to drink 2%.
Oh,
My mom thought it was healthier. The first thing I did when I fucking moved out,
bought yourself
I
a gallon
only
of whole
bought
milk.
fucking whole milk. I don't buy
Is
that
it-
2% bullshit.
Is it true that so I was watching an episode of Schitt's Creek and they steal a bunch of they get a bunch of unpasteurized milk and they're like, oh, it's illegal in America. Is that real? Like
Yes.
unpasteurized milk is actually
Yeah, that's how they grow.
But you
Fruity.
can. They
Well,
do
no,
get ways
see,
around
it's
that.
illegal
You-
to sell it. You cannot own a dairy and sell your product to the masses unpasteurized. It is not illegal if you go buy a cow and you have
And
a
you
cow
just
and
drink
and
your-
you just
And you're drinking that.
yeah,
milk.
you
my-
put a
there
mouth
are-
to a
My
teeth.
family has a dairy farm in Germany, and when I was over there when I was a
Humble
kid,
brag.
the milk, they go milk the cow early in the morning. They take the milk, put it in a pitcher. They don't do nothing. They don't separate the fat. Nothing. They just put that pitcher in the stone cellar until night, and then after you eat your meal of the day, when you drink coffee all night, because that's what the Germans do.
Nice.
You put that fucking milk from the morning in your fucking coffee at night, and it is, oh my god!
It's
I
great.
just shit my pants for 4 days straight
But
because you're not used
delicious.
to
Yeah.
the you know what I mean. Like the pasteurization takes all the other shit out of it.
It is
So,
a much
but-
better
oh
experience.
my-
It,
Oh
it's,
my
it's
god!
Like, it's almost like half and half in flavor. Like it's very. There are places within the area that you can get. There are farms that do donation based, unpasteurized.
Yeah.
milk. You know what I mean? So like they're technically not breaking any laws. And
Yeah.
Well, can people
You're gonna poop your
I
pants,
know that
so
it's
you
stupid that
gotta
I saw it
poop
on
your
a TV
pants.
show,
Lot
but
of
can
dairy,
you
lot of
seriously
dairy
get in
there.
trouble for that?
I mean, if you're selling it,
because
yeah, you're
his whole
selling
thing was
it,
like
yeah.
that. Him and his daughter went to go buy all this unpasteurized milk. They're like, oh yeah, you can turn it around. Blah blah, because he was getting it for like $7 a bottle, and I guess it tasted better or whatever. He's
I mean,
like,
it
oh wait,
does
I
taste
can
really
flip
good.
it and then bought a bunch, and then got pulled over with the cops, and then they
Yeah.
made him
It's
dump
like
it all.
it's like a rum runner. You're just
I
a
mean,
milk
at
runner.
that point,
yeah.
you're dealing with the FDA. So
That's why they call it a milk run.
Yep. Yeah, I go on a milk run.
Oh.
I
See,
go on
so I guess
chocolate
there was
milk
something
runs,
factual
or I
about
run
Schitt's
to the
Creek.
fridge and then I eat just pieces of chocolate.
Now that's
and
the
then
one thing
drink
I
milk.
can't do.
Chocolate
I've
milk?
had no, I fucking love
I was
chocolate.
gonna say what the fuck's wrong
I've
with you?
had the oat, but
Yeah.
I've had the almond, I've had the soy.
Yep.
I've tried most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
yeah,
Like in a baked good where it's not just the one thing you're
Yeah.
having, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I can't tell if you used almond milk or cow's milk
Yeah.
in
Right.
your baking.
right.
But in a bowl of cereal, in just
Yep.
chugging a good old fucking glass of milk like
What
I
about,
do.
butter on toast? Would you be able to tell? You think?
Ooh,
Yes.
I'd like
yeah,
to think I would be able to tell
I would
because
think.
For sure,
I'm
it's a
big-
You can tell in
specific.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
I feel
specific
like
I was
flavor.
I was
Balance has
trained
done
to
such a
cook
good job.
in French style of cooking,
We're big on butter.
which is butter and wine
Yep.
and heavy cream. Those are, if you need to make something better, you put butter, wine, or heavy cream in it, and it's always
It's a way of
better.
life.
Like, that's the French way,
yeah.
and that's my favorite food of all time is French style food.
Yeah. Now you're gonna have this oat milk sitting in your refrigerator. 'cause
I'm
we're
gonna
leave
drink
here.
it.
You're gonna drink it. You are gonna drink it.
I'm gonna try it in my coffee tomorrow morning,
Nice.
maybe with a little booze.
Why not?
Maybe.
So I gotta get on the roof tomorrow.
Yeah. You
How,
need to
put
stay
some of your
low.
oat milk in your oatmeal raisin milk.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not mixing oat milk in the oatmeal raisin cookie brownie.
No, I
That's
definitely
not
am
gonna
not
be
putting booze.
good. That's not gonna be
Disclaimer: I'm
good
not
at
putting
all.
booze in my coffee before I go to work. Okay.
He's not doing
It's
that.
just a
That was a
joke.
joke. That
I
was
also
a
do
joke.
agree that there's no supplement for milk. Really.
Yeah, I
mean,
have a hard time
you're
replacing milk.
sacrificing something. You know,
Butter,
even at skim
I feel
milk.
like I know
Does it
cashew. I've
I
never
have
had
one
cashew.
with I do
Cashew's
love
thick.
cashews.
Thick?
So.
Yeah, there are
Cashew's, like,
different.
Cashew's thicker
I think the
than
viscosity
like,
is a
so
big deal there.
Almond milk is kind of bullshit nowadays
Yeah.
because especially like after Blue Diamond like and all their shit, like they basically it's just a little bit of almond and water.
Yeah.
Like even when you shake it up, like you can see. Like
Yeah.
And isn't that just equally as bad for the environment?
it
the
is.
almond
Oh, well,
milk?
I will say that almond milk is not a like sustainable thing that you should be doing.
But Cliff
But-
thinks it's better. Do you think it's better tasting?
I prefer. I won't drink real milk.
I
is
haven't had almond
disgusting
milk
to
in a
me.
while.
But almond milk is great, but cashew milk at
I'm
least
interested.
has.
If I see cashew
the
milk
cr-
somewhere, I'm gonna try
Cashew
it.
milk has a creaminess to it.
Yeah.
I like the blend. I also
If
like,
you're gonna do the damn thing, do the damn thing the whole
but
way.
cashew with
way I usually
I
do
would say
it.
cashew with coconut.
All right.
They have like a blend of it. That's my absolute favorite. It's like
Try
it's
a blend.
super creamy. And it doesn't. There's no separation or anything. But seriously, almond milk is mostly just.
When was the
fucking
last
water.
time you had real milk?
Ugh.
I think
I
you
was
need
like
to be
a
refreshed.
kid.
I think you need to do a
What
gallon
about chicken
challenge.
Hey, do you still have milk
and
over there?
Just chug,
So
chug,
gross.
chug. Regular milk's next
No,
to
do you still have milk?
No, I am out of milk.
You should take a little bit of this milk, take
Yeah.
a sip of it, and then have some of your.
Oh, I
oatmeal
did that. I
cookie.
did go back and forth between the beers and the milk because I'm disgusting.
Look, can somebody hand me some milk? 'Cause
Yeah.
I wanna actually
No, that
There's
You want
that actually
regular milk over
enhanced.
real
there,
milk?
and there's oat milk
You
right
want
there.
real milk or
real
what?
milk, real milk. I am
Now, we do have
Yeah, we don't keep milk in
a
our
segment that
house.
we're going to be doing tonight that we've not done in a very long time, guys. Now, the first time that Jen and SteveO were on the show, we were doing this segment called Let Me Ask You a Question from Let
I
Me Ask You
remember
a
that.
Question. And we've stopped it this season, but today, the episode that they released yesterday on our Moot Monday drops, really spoke to me, and I thought that this would be a good group for us to discuss since it's food related and we're already on the food subject. So, without any further delay, let me ask you a question from Let Me Ask You a Question.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. From Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, no, it's
All right,
crazy.
hand me that milk then, boy.
All right, I said I wasn't gonna do the oat to oatmeal thing, but I did it over here before, and I don't know. You guys are getting more. I didn't really notice anything, but I was going back and forth with the regular milk and that, so I didn't
Do
notice
the
anything
regular
crazy
milk.
different.
Milk.
And then take a sip.
Now, do you say milk or milk?
He says milk.
Milk?
I say milk.
You
too.
say milk once in a while.
I think I say it the same way
Milk.
as you do.
Milk.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let me
Oh,
ask you a
lovely.
question from Let Me Ask You a Question. Again, it is a food-related question
I
this
fucking
week.
love milk. Oh, God.
This
You know,
varies.
After drinking the oat milk, sorry to cut you
No,
off.
no, it's
After
fine.
drinking the oat milk and then having a sip of regular cow milk, oh, fuck that, dude.
You're gonna get
Fuck
milk
that
drunk.
oat milk.
This is going to be the
Milk
most
drunk.
sober episode of this show.
We've eaten food and we've consumed
drinking
milk.
milk.
Yeah, it's we're getting oddly healthy on
Reviewing
this
from the
one.
bathroom.
We are going to review those from the bathroom. All right, so the question, our super producer, EJ5000, actually is the one who proposed the question on this episode. Was their 205th overall episode.
Nice.
The question is, in a world where food is how you communicate, nobody talks, nobody texts, anything like that, you communicate with food, which led to a really long conversation that we can skip right over. How or what food would you prepare to give the best first impression of yourself? So they went on a long thing about defining what this world was. Right. Go check out the episode. Let me ask you a question. The episode. It was supposed to be that, and then it became the. It's both of them. Go check out the episode.
Yeah.
To hear more of their discussion on that. But I'm just curious whether you can prepare it yourself. I think we can all cook in here, so we can all do that. Is there a dish that you think you can hand to somebody and it would be a good example of the person that you are in food form? Like
I would just cook my favorite food.
What is your favorite food then to
Stuffed
cook?
cabbage.
Stuffed cabbage. So you would walk up to someone on the
I've
street
never had stuffed
and you'd
cabbage.
hand them stuffed.
Love
What?
stuffed cabbage.
Now, when
I
you
don't know
stuff
what it
cabbage,
is.
what do you stuff it with?
Rice, meat, tomato.
Like
Okay.
in a piece of cabbage? I've never had it.
Yeah,
Me
it's
neither.
like a small
Piece
puck.
cabbage?
In Polish, we call it
Is
You
it a
stuff
Polish
it. Yeah, you stuff it, roll the cabbage, and then bake it.
Oh,
Now,
I've
what
never
do
seen
you think
before.
that says about you when you hand them that piece of food? When you go here,
I don't
because
know,
you
it's
can't
pretty
talk.
basic. It's
Pretty
very,
basic.
very fucking poor man's food. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
you're showing up to and you're going, here, I am a poor man. I am very
Basically.
basic. Here is my food. And they would
weird.
see your stature as well, because they can still see you.
Right.
So they would see that you're 7.5 feet tall and 4,900 years old, and they'd be like, "Oh, this old man has a lot of cabbage here."
Yes.
So that would be what they
he's
say
a
about
bastion
you.
of the proletariat,
Yeah,
which is what we're talking about. You know, like that is, I think, where we're at.
Yeah.
somewhere where we're at. Yeah. All right, Jen. Is there any food that you would prepare that you think would be a good example for who you are, a good way to communicate with other people as a first impression?
I guess I would probably. I'm very overly complicated with the way I cook and do
Do it.
things in general, but I would probably stick with like either like a seitan sandwich, or I would do like my vegan fried chicken because like it's extremely complicated, all plant-based
Devilishly
ingredients and all things that like are extremely complicated. Like
Yeah.
I would,
So you would present something
and
to
it's
them.
something that takes a lot of pride to even make.
Okay,
That
so you
can't
would
just
show that
simply
I'm a
do
very
it.
prideful person.
Prideful and meticulous
complicated and
very
meticulous.
meticulous.
That's good.
And very attention to detail.
All right, SteveO, anything that you would present to people that you would,
Well, first I'm going to present the drink of the milk and following it with this fine.
You're
spicy
enjoying
milk.
it. You're enjoying the back and forth.
Yeah.
Would you
So,
present somebody with that as a first impression of you? Just milk and beer?
Yes.
It's not really prepared, but it
Watch what I
works.
follow up with.
It works. But is there
It
any
does
food
work.
item that you make, anything that you are known to make, that is kind of like a good thing, that if you were going to show up at a party with something you made and give a good first impression, that you would come with? It looks like Jen has
know
an
what
idea
it is.
for you.
For all my
For all
intents and
the
purposes,
family things.
I mean, I've been known to make a mess.
Yes.
That's the first thing that happens when I show up to a
Your
party.
pasta salad.
So when I say that, the first thing I'm preparing for a stranger,
Yeah.
straight up,
Pasta salad.
would be Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had them myself.
Uh-huh.
I've never prepared
Uh-huh.
them. But the thing is, if you're gonna get to know me for the first time, let's go and do it together, brother.
Let's just put balls in our mouths.
Let us go on the journey and let us find out what that's
Fuck
what tastes
yeah.
like.
Fuck yeah.
That's where I'm at. And the thing about it is this: is the fact that I've also never prepared it. We are on a journey together. I think
Right.
that there's nothing but friendship coming from this.
That's true. I like that presentation there. Zach,
I
what
would say
about for you?
I'm not gonna lie. As the first thing I thought was also stuffed cabbage.
Oh,
Damn.
all right.
Not the way Justin.
Well, how would you stuff your cabbage to show that you're not just
the
a
way that
giant
my mom
simpleton
and my
poor
grandmother
man?
made it.
Okay.
Or maybe that's the German way. No rice, no tomatoes.
Right.
Is it potato?
meat, onions,
Ooh.
spices,
Yeah.
things like
Right.
that.
Okay. And then,
Well, I like the rice and the tomato and the to me the
It's not
classic
traditional
stuffed
to
cabbage.
you, yeah.
The traditional stuffed
Yeah.
cabbage doesn't have that. Then I'm thinking, oh, it's got to be something that's not Justin already picked.
okay. So if it's something that, what would you go?
Something with wild game.
That's where I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
you'd go.
You know what I mean?
Some
I'd
red
probably
meats.
stuff the cabbage with
Yeah, that would actually be. We
or
should
something
fucking do
too.
that, dude. We should do
'cause
that.
We
that's-
should do stuff your cabbage episode, or we all just stuff our own cabbage.
But like like something like a chili,
Ooh.
maybe like a venison chili,
Yeah,
Nice.
but with like herbs from like the garden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's sort of more natural, more.
Do you have a
When
garden?
My mother does, and when I go get her house, I use
Is that
hers
for the
from her
backyard?
garden.
Yeah, there's a garden here right now.
No, there's no backyard right now.
Yeah, there's
no.
barely a house.
There's a hole.
Yeah.
Or at least fresh herbs and not the dried stuff.
Right,
But but definitely some sort of fresh wild game.
Hell yeah. Now, I think when I was listening to this episode, I had two immediate thoughts. My first thought was I'm going to hand them a peanut butter and jelly. Because I will then know if they're a person that likes peanut butter and jelly, and that
No,
says a
peanut
lot
butter
about
and
Literally
them.
jelly.
never had one in my
It's
life,
a
and I'm not
situation.
joking.
That's
So
crazy.
situational.
So I have a very specific way I like my peanut butter and jelly, though. And when I lived with Richard and Nicole, we all found out that we all had our own peanut butter and jelly stuff, and we all had the same exact mixture. If I'm not mistaken, it's strawberry jam.
Right.
Strawberry jam, extra chunky peanut butter, and wheat bread. Because then it's because then it's like a trail mix sandwich.
Yeah, I guess
and
so.
I've been intoxicated on many different things in my life
Trail mix sandwich?
where I would then just sprinkle in M&Ms and more peanuts inside of it and make a real trail mix sandwich, and it's fucking delicious.
See, for
I've
me-
also made trail mix cookies before, but then I thought if I wasn't just going to hand them a sandwich or something like that, although that would explain a lot about who I am. Here's this unhealthy, very particular concoction of absurdities. Enjoy. And it's something easy that you can just get down real quick
Yeah.
and then move on from it. That's me. The other thing is I've been making a lot of another poor man's food kind of thing. Jambalayas, more or less.
I love
I
jambalaya,
love
dude.
jambalaya.
I have been
So
making
good.
weird different versions, and it's the poor man approach of I've got rice, I've got beans, and what meat do I have right now? But if I can pick, I'm making some Cajun style chicken, grilling that up and slicing that nice and thin. I'm throwing in some also Cajun style shrimp, and then some andouille sausage. If I can pick exactly what I'm doing, I'm gonna go as appropriate as I
Right,
can on
right.
that. But the other day I didn't want to make rice and I had pasta, so I made jambalaya but with pasta instead. So all of the same ingredients, but just pasta, and then I used a little bit of Alfredo sauce in there and mixed it all together. And I think that is kind of just here's a confusing bowl of mess.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Was it good,
Here's
though?
See,
it's
the nomenclature-
delicious.
I think using the nomenclature jambalaya
Yeah.
almost gives a short slight to jambalaya, because I've been in that same situation.
Yeah.
Where you look in the cabinet.
Yours is terrible, though. Yours is your just stone.
and you look at everything that's there,
Uh-huh.
and you
It can all
find-
go together.
You find a path,
Uh-huh.
and you make that path.
Yes, you do.
However,
Sure.
calling it jambalaya might be a little bit, and I'm not.
Oh no,
I'm
it's
not
insulting to
jumping on
people that like real
it.
jambalaya.
I'm not jumping on your-
Because I could also call it like ratatouille, also in a way that it's just a bunch
Exactly.
of bullshit.
It's a poor man's
thrown
It's
in.
a poor man's feast for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what nomenclature you want to choose depending on the nationality you want to offend.
Yeah, I try to offend New Orleans as much as possible in my life, so I
I
go
make
after
a
that.
banging Creole.
Ooh.
I love making Creole.
So you should introduce yourself with that, because I think that people will just be like, spicy.
Oh,
Spicy.
I love hot food. I love anything spicy. I don't know how to make anything without a shit ton of spices.
Yeah.
And it's like anytime his dad ate my
Cooking-
chili,
cooking for my
and I
parents
made
is
it
a-
Oh, yeah.
mild.
My
I
dad
made
thinks
it the
pepper
most,
is spicy.
I
so
made it the
understand
most
yeah.
mild I possibly in my brain could handle.
Yeah.
And they were like, "This is so spicy."
My
and it
mom
was
was
like,
in the crock pot from like 6 feet.
yeah, it was just like, well, I don't understand.
Too
I
much
was like,
spice.
and I didn't even add any. Like
You were
I
going
purposely
mild
kept out
on it,
all my
yeah.
peppers. Like
Yeah.
my peppers were the side to put them in later, and I was
Right.
like, really?
Yeah,
Why?
no, trying to cook for people that don't like spicy things is why, like, working in a restaurant, it gets hard to make, like, a large amount of something. Like, if you're making chili, it has to be very middle of the road
Well,
chili.
there's also
and you
different
can't go
variations.
crazy over
It's-
the top of that spice.
Yeah.
It's like what the general population's thought on temperatures are. You know what I mean? Like, I've had people who are like, yeah, I want medium rare, and then you put it out, and they're like, no, I actually, like, no pink. And it's like, well, it's
Yeah.
not fucking medium rare.
Yeah.
You get
yeah.
people who are like, oh, I can't even eat pepper, like, just straight
Yep.
black pepper.
It literally,
So it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll put a little bit in there, and you put a fucking shake in there because you need something.
yeah, and they're like, this is
Yeah,
so
they're like,
spicy.
this is the fucking hottest thing. And
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that was like 3 sprinkles of fucking
I will say
pepper.
real quick in chat in relation to the question at hand. Cliff is saying a burrito fast. What does it say? Fast and
Lots
lots.
of taste all rolled up into one, baby.
Oh yeah, and then Marissa's saying that she would make a cupcake. I think a cupcake is a good way.
Marissa is a cupcake.
I think both of you nailed it right
Marissa
there.
is a Christmas cupcake though, because Marissa loves Christmas more than any person I've ever met in
And
my
Cliff
whole
is
life.
definitely a burrito because if a burrito says anything, it says "Let's go."
You can bring it with you.
Yeah,
They
you can
can
bring
bring
it
it
with you.
transportable.
Yeah, you can be-
have a burrito. Dude,
Oh, I'm switching mine. Walking taco. I'm making a walking
The
taco.
hotness is at that
And a
point,
Cool Ranch
to
Doritos
yourself,
bag.
Dude, if you have a burrito, you can put a burrito in a hoodie pocket.
I've
Easily.
done it.
Can.
Just roll.
It's been
like,
there.
You can be mobile with a burrito. You just-
By the-
Burritos
I
are
see
great
Cliff- I
on
see
the
Cliff
roll.
with the burrito, yeah.
They are
Getting back
great
to your
on the
peanut butter
roll.
and jelly. For
Yes.
me, it's white bread,
Uh-huh.
creamy peanut butter, and butter. No jelly.
No jelly,
Butter.
but butter and peanut butter.
Yes.
That's insane.
It makes
All
it
this is
creamy.
so
It's a
cool.
lot of
That
butter.
is
It's a lot of butter,
I-
yeah.
Like literally,
I thought Jif is who had the cream.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
even,
Real cream makes it better. It's
I've never.
adds that
I'm now
salty-
curious. I don't
Try
have.
it, dude.
I don't have creamy peanut butter because I think.
Oh,
that's
you can
just
do
a
it with
waste.
chunky, but
I'm gonna try it with
creamy
chunky.
peanut butter is.
I don't get it.
Never.
I don't.
I
I
have
don't
such a
understand
repulsion.
it.
While we're on this, dude, marmalade. Have you guys tried marmalade?
I've
Oh,
had
yeah,
marmalade.
that's good.
Not a lot of marmalade.
Oh,
Not a
I
big
hate
fan.
it.
I don't like the little
has the
bits
little-
and
it has the
particles.
particles.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I
I
enjoy
like
it.
marmalade, dude.
Yeah.
Marmalade,
Yeah.
I'm not
Closest
gonna lie,
I get
can
is a
tell you that I'm
preserve.
repulsed by peanut butter and jelly my whole life.
And you said
never
you've never
it,
had one.
Never had one. Never will try it. Fucking disgusting.
Why?
You have mushy on mushy in between 2 slices of white bread. What planet do people live on that they want to eat that? That's
America!
Kansas. Yeah,
America planet.
No,
Planet
thank you.
America. Planet
That's so
America.
gross.
No, I also do not enjoy any jelly at all.
mushy
You don't
stuff
like
is
jelly.
So
I'll
But
have
that's
to-
where
I'll
the
have
crunchy peanut butter
Peanut
comes
butter and fluff
no.
in. Yeah.
was
That's
always
great.
my thing
Like
as a
if
kid.
you grilled it or something, but even
I've
like,
done that.
but I also
Too
I don't
much.
fuck
You're
with
already
I don't
getting
fuck
too
with
much
white
sweets.
condiments, so no
Yeah.
mayo,
Yeah,
no
well,
cream
no, the
cheese,
jelly
Weird.
none of that
jelly's
shit.
sweet, too.
Disgusting.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. All right. Well,
Right,
I know that we could probably go off on these tangents.
Cliff says
for the next
Jen, you are so wrong on
half an hour.
something.
He's saying you're wrong. We'll just have to agree with him on that. A big thank you to Jen and Steven, but specifically
for the
Jen
cookies.
for making the
Thank you
cookies
for the
fucking
cookies.
delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Really
Thank you for
enjoyed
being
them.
here.
Thank you
Wait,
both for
wait.
being here.
Fucking delicious.
Fucking delicious.
Oh no!
Big ups to Jen. Fucking delicious.
Fucking delicious.
Isn't he in prison?
I don't know. He'll see this at some point.
We'll find out.
We'll find out, or we won't.
We're coming to get you out, buddy.
Go check out our friend podcast. Go check out Marissa and Anna on But What Do We Know, where we do the theme song for them on that show. And then you can check out Sean and Dave Make Music and Not Movies. Our second installment of Not Movies is still yet to be released. It will be released at some point in the future. And you can go check out the other shows from Moot.tv, The Derek D. Dozen, and Let Me Ask You a Question. Big ups to producer EJ5000 for getting this put out for you guys every single week. Big ups, EJ! Again, SteveO, Jen, thank you so much for being here. As always, a huge thank you to Mr. Justin Olimpado.
Yeah, man, you're welcome.
Yeah, boy. And
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Zachary
Stuffed cabbage.
Storman. All right, guys.
Thank you,
Kyle
Cliff.
Mocha won't shut up. I am Kyle Mocha signing off. Join us next week when our guest will be Tim Holhouse, also our musical guest, via Zoom.
Oh, how excited!
So excited for this. We're going to have our first international guest from the UK
man.
calling us via the Zoom, so that's going to be awesome.
Oh, I can't wait.
And again, he's also the musical guest, so it's just a double whammy of Mr. Holhouse. You're getting all the holes housed on this
house.
one. You're getting the whole house.
I see what they did there.
Oh, all right, guys. Again, I'm Kyle Mocha. Thank you so much. Here's our closing theme song to play us out. And as always,
Jeff
Buckley. Fuck you.
Buckley.
Fuck the bands.
Fuck you.
Jeff Buckley.
Mood.tv.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him, we're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be total experiment.